Right, so as I said at the beginning, I am a performance psychologist and my background is predominantly in sports performance with Olympic athletes and with professional athletes across a number of different sports. And I thought to myself, I'm doing lots of stuff for you guys on lots of different topics, but I haven't yet done one on sports performance psychology itself. So this is about how to prepare for your best performance in any competition or in any game. The first thing and probably the most important thing that I have to sort out with my athletes, and that is your pre-competition plan. If you are prepared and you feel prepared going into your competition, whatever sort of sport it is, then the likelihood of you achieving your best possible outcome is very, very high. If you're not feeling prepared and if your brain is not ready to go, and if you don't feel you have the strategies that balances out that level of anxiety with that level of get up and go, then we're in trouble. So think to yourself, we need to put together a little bit of a plan here. And I'm sorry because I'm talking across a lot of different sports. But if I give an example of a sport that has a weekly game, has a weekly fixture, and we look at, right, the week ahead, so week prior to that game, what you want to be doing early on is to start to think about, right, what have I got? What sort of skills do I need to be anticipating? So the technical side of it as well as the strength conditioning side of it. Strength conditioning you need to maintain throughout your game playing period, of course, and your coach will be on top of that. But also your flexibility. Flexibility is something that a lot of athletes that I've worked with are not so good at doing, perhaps with the exception of my little Olympic gymnasts who are very good at doing that. But for most other athletes, keep up with your flexibility because as far as that's concerned, it's going to help minimize your injury too. But start thinking quite early, zone in on the game, zone in on who am I going to be playing, what sort of moves do I want to be making. So to think about visualizing, what I call livualizing, all of the different types of moves that you might be doing, the passes you might be making, the penalties and all the throws. Thinking about all of those different elements, or perhaps if you're a triathlete or a swimmer or a cyclist, what are some of the moves that you're going to be doing? So what I call it, this is zone in time, thinking about and really preparing for competition. And perhaps in the training periods in that week leading up to competition, working on those particular attributes. Then as we get closer to competition, what I tend to find is that a lot of athletes don't like thinking about the competition too soon to it. So perhaps the night before, it's too much to be thinking about competition. Get your bag ready so your kit's all there and all sorted and you're not going to be leaving things behind and therefore raising your stress levels. Have everything ready to go, but then distract yourself, what I call zone out, because you've got everything under control. And if you're only thinking about the game the following day, you're only thinking about the competition the following day, it can massively raise those anxiety levels, those arousal levels, and mean you're not getting the quality of sleep that you need. So do what you need to do in order to ensure that you have really good quality sleep. Have a good bed routine, have a good sleep routine. And I've spoken a little bit about that sleep routine when it comes to preparing for exams as well. And then in the morning of competition, have your own morning of competition routine too that you go through. Let other people know. Let other people know what it is so they don't disturb you, or perhaps they can help you at different times. And then finally, when you're actually leading up to competition, see yourself being successful. Earlier on in the week, I talk about see yourself being successful and then see yourself making mistakes and coming back from those mistakes as well. So you've anticipated a whole lot of possible outcomes. But just before the competition, I want you to see yourself being really successful, to have that positive self-talk of, yeah, I can do it. I'm so prepared. I feel really good. My body feels really strong. All of that good sort of self-chat so that you're going into competition with the best possible mindset. Now, there's so much more that I can talk to you about, but let's get started with that. and I'll see what I can do about perhaps putting together some other videos for you if you would like them about other aspects of preparing for competition.